Google. Let's go get him again.
Welcome back to the Robes Away channel. I'm your host Mark, and welcome to a first impression unboxing video on my channel. Today we are delving into the brand of, as you can see, Mugler, and of course one of the Mugler Colognes, which I haven't smelt any of them. I have, of course, the old school Mugler Cologne here, but this is Fly Away Eau de Toilette. So can we start off this video by asking one simple question? What is happening with the brand of Mugler here? I know parent companies, they like to play around with their designer brands, but was really the men's line not profitable for basically the brand of Mugler, and they started to just basically pull an escada on us and basically push a women's line, and that's it, and kind of get rid of the whole men's fragrances. I don't know, is that the plan? Or are they going to start re-releasing some of these fragrances? So I personally kind of liked the flankers. I know a lot of people in the community wasn't really a big fan of Amen flankers, but even Amen is on the chopping block here. This one right here, Mugler Cologne, very easy, straightforward fragrance, office safe. If you haven't smelt this fragrance, I wish I had a bigger bottle of this, to be quite honest. I put quite a dent in mine. I've had it for several years, but basically completely opposite of what the Amen DNA is. It's very squeaky clean, basically a soapy, clean fragrance. Dress it up, dress it down. Casually, you can wear it in the spring, summer, any season, basically. It's a great, great fragrance. Even though I had a huge love for the original Mugler Cologne, and when they re-released it, I think it was called Come Together, with other fragrances to basically make it a line. I believe they did that in 2018. The PR marketing Mugler line section did not send me the whole line, unfortunately. I was one of those reviewers that didn't get all I think there was 4 of them that were sent out to influencers. So I'm starting fresh with this one right here. I felt like this was the most interesting one. They are at discounters for great prices. You're looking at around $40 to $70 Canadian. So my American friends, bargain bin pricing. I'm not saying that we're gonna get fireworks out of these fragrances, but because the brand is on basically, you know, is the men's line gonna get basically all axed and they're just gonna forget about it? I'm kind of trying to collect some of these, even some of the women's fragrances that are getting axed. I really wanted to kind of focus and get a few this year in 2024. Now, before we get into the meat and potatoes and unbox this thing, I did want to thank my partner, FragranceX.com, where I did get this fragrance. They have a few of them of this line on their website for a really great price. I think I got mine for 60 bucks. Check out Fragrance X. I do have a coupon code on their website. It is my channel name, Robes08. You put in their coupon section and you get that 15% off of your purchase. Helps me, helps you. Love it. So thank you to Fragrance X, and I'm looking forward. This is a blind buy, so I don't know, obviously. I don't know what I'm going to get out of this. Obviously, the one big thing about this particular release is cannabis or hemp note in this, and it's basically a straightforward note breakdown. Grapefruit is the opening of it. So you're looking at a citrusy, I'm thinking like a green citrusy thing going on. Obviously we got the orange color, so from the grapefruit, we'll see. Sonia Constant was the nose behind this, a great nose. So let's get into it. These are, from what I hear, highly unisex fragrances. So some may go launch femme on some people, we'll see. This is a 100 ml. I think my bottle here is a 75 ml, if I am correct. Yes, so the bottle is going to be bigger than my old school Mugler Cologne. Actually, I wouldn't mind getting Come Together, I think is the green one, just to kind of back up this one. I do get a little code here that's still doing the circle. I don't know if they still do it now. I'm assuming they still do. But let's take a look at the differences, of course, of the bottle, the presentation. I do have my little stick here, but yeah, so you got a clear plastic. I don't know if mine, maybe it did. We have a sticker at the front instead of the TM right here. Mugler Cologne Fly Away. It's more of a, can I say it's orange yellow hue? Almost yellowish, really. Batch code is in the back of it. So atomizers are the exact same, and the bottle presentation looks pretty much the exact same. So let's start on the strip and then we'll go on skin and see what I get. So here we go. Famous last words. Let's sniff this one out and see what I get on strip at least. Ooh, zesty. Oh, that grapefruit, gorgeous. Oh yeah, very realistic grapefruit. This is absolutely gorgeous. And again, a lot of designer brands kind of screw up the grapefruit note here. Sour. Oh my God, this grapefruit is tart. It's beautiful. Oh yeah. You know what this reminds me of? The citruses that Hermes utilizes. That good. I'm trying to think of an Hermes, but it kind of feels like that tartness. Absolutely gorgeous. So it has a lot of the grapefruit rind, peel, basically everything. It really has that. You know what I really like in these grapefruits is these sour imagery. I don't know how some of these do it, these perfumiers, but Sonia is one of the best in the game. And I'm getting a little bit of a green facet, but you know what it is? I know the whole hemp and cannabis thing. It smells like a clean vetiver note. I'm getting a little bit of that. You know what? I'm getting a little bit of bitter orange too. So that's maybe why the Hermes thought process is going. There's more than what meets the eye as far as, again, the no breakdown only list. I think on a lot of these platforms are saying grapefruit and hemp or cannabis note. So let's put it on skin and see what I get. But I'm getting a lot off the strip, and I'm overspraying this. You know what? I really like these kind of light fizzy fragrances. You can overspray these. Yeah. Very realistic grapefruit, and I can't emphasize that enough. There's so many designer brands that do it wrong. This one is right up there with a lot of them. There's a Cartier that does a really good grapefruit. I'm trying to remember which Cartier it is, but it reminds me in that section, like almost surprisingly good. So if you like that, tangy, tart. Tartness is better than sour, tart. Energizing, uplifting. These type of thin, bright citruses, you can't go wrong, and it just brings me to an Hermes, like a bitter orange grapefruit. And again, I don't want to go tablet on Hermes because that's a very thick fragrance in regards to what I'm getting here, but oh man, it really is kind of emphasizing that Terre d'Hermes eau fraîche, kind of grapefruit, orangey. It almost has like a red fruit also going through, like a synthetic red fruit. I haven't really met a really good red fruit, like a pomegranate or something like that. Pull a red kind of vibe, like synthetic, but it's just very, very small because the grapefruit is uplifting. It is your major player. As far as I'm buying this for the hemp or the cannabis note. Ooh, that's a hard sell, especially in the introduction here. I'm getting a, you know, and I hate going back to Terre d'Hermes, but a vetiver, but a cleaner vetiver. It has a little bit of rootiness. You can sense the greenness in here. So where I'm going here is grapefruit, bitter orange, a little bit of a vetiver, but a cleaner vetiver, and like a red pomegranate, but very synthetic. And that's a very thin secondary note here in this introduction. Now, will it go, and it just totally reminds me, and again, I'm repeating myself, but this could fit into an Hermes, and I don't want to go to, because Mugler Cologne, like Mugler as a brand, and Hermes are on different spectrums. Like Hermes, I put it right up there against some of the best in the game. So, but this grapefruit is really, really like Pampelune. There's that Cartier, Eau de Cartier, one of those that has a grapefruit, very realistic. I have it in my collection. The name is, but it's tangy, tart, and the vetiver is not straightforward. So there is some greenness, and it's almost like going into a ruddy brown kind of, and I'm starting to think like, you know, it's going to give you that imagery of like kind of like hemp. There's no smoke factor here. There's no dankness, you know, like a patchouli or something like that. No, it's not in that. Very thin, very realistic grapefruit, very uplifting. Great for summer, at least for now as the introduction. Energizing, uplifting, rind, beautiful, beautiful grapefruit note. Now, is it super thin that it's not going to last? And is it super thin that you're not going to get much more in this? The grapefruit's going to end, and then you're just going to be having like a small glimpse of a thin, rooty vetiver, and that's it. That could possibly happen here, but I'm very impressed with the introduction, and this is kind of one of those fragrances that the introduction is so good that you want to reapply. That's my initial thoughts right now, and that initial thought never really goes away. Like if I say this in a video this year and we go 10 years later, I'm still going to think that. I still think that I can reapply this in an hour or two and really love the energizing part. I love really thin, authentic citruses like this is presenting. It's really good. And let's see what it does on the strip here. Okay, it's different here. More peel of the grapefruit than, so it has a little bit of a density here. But again, the vetiver is not launching. Oh, that one got launched almost to the other side of the room. Yeah, you're not getting much of the vetiver in the back end. So I'm looking forward to where this is going to actually take me. If I was a betting man, it won't take me very far. It's not going to take me to places that I think it's going to go. As far as cannabis and hemp and all this, I wonder if this, no, this cap doesn't fit. Oh, it does. It's probably the exact same. I didn't think because of the smaller bottle, but okay. But as far as this whole cannabis hemp imagery theme, I wouldn't buy it for that. I would buy it for the grapefruit. So to my friends out there that really like, and again, this is just an initial impression off the top. We'll see in hour 1 and 2. And again, that's where the test drive comes in. I'm going to wear this for several days, and then a test drive video is going to come out, and I'm going to tell you what I get in the back end. But a betting man here, I'm thinking because of the thinness I'm getting here, I'm not expecting much of a back end, to be honest. Nothing huge as far as cannabis goes. So, you know, a lot of reviewers kind of like to emphasize the sexy notes and fragrances and kind of, well, let's put it in this box. This has cannabis in the note breakdown. Yeah, I smell a little bit of it. Boom, cannabis-based top 10 cannabis fragrances, and you're going to see this thing in here. And really, honestly, if you're asking me, that's a stretch. Now, top 10 grapefruit scents. Ooh, designer? It would make the list. I think it would be in the back end of the list, but maybe slotting at 5, 6, maybe even as high as 4, top 10 grapefruit. Maybe. There's a lot of competition there, but there's a lot of bad ones too. Yeah, this is really good. Very thin, great for summer. So, now that you heard my take, I'd love to see yours in the comments below. Like, this is a cheapie. And again, I don't want to like create havoc or create hype or create like, oh my God, you have to have this. No, but I'm just kind of like, I've been in this industry for so long now that I'm thinking that this stuff is not going to be $40, $50 in the next coming years. It's going to start getting scarce. I think they made too much of it. And I feel like all these discounters are getting like too much of it. They're buying it up, and then it's going to dry up, and then it's going to get scarce, and then the prices are going to start going up. That's how it fluctuates in the fragrance industry. If you didn't know, like something like this is the perfect timing to buy something like this. It's not going to get any lower in price. However, it will get harder to find, and it's going to get more expensive to find. And that's where you are as, you know, just forget about it. This is one of those that I would say, you know what, if you forget about it, you're not missing much. You know, you need a good grapefruit. I think there's a lot of them in it, like Pampelune from Guerlain, the one above my head, best in the game as far as grapefruit goes, under $100. That's all you need. But if this is at a discounter for 20, 30 bucks, snatch it up. This is the lowest it's going to get as far as price tag goes. So I'd love to see your comments below on this particular release. Now, are you getting a lot more green herb type thing? I think I'm getting some, but it's such a clean vetiver. That's what I'm getting, vetiver, and it's not in the note breakdown, but you can smell a little bit of that rootiness. And again, it kind of like hemp-wise, hemp makes sense because it kind of has like that brown hue, like the root of the vetiver kind of thing. Now that you heard my take, now it's your turn to let us know in the comments. And as always, a great report fragrance will make a lasting impression. This was a surprise to me. I was expecting something a little more green. This is very bright, vibrant, interesting. We'll see what it gives me in the back end, but yeah, choose your grapefruit-based scent or your cannabis-based scent. Don't trust your own nose, and this is exactly it. People punching it into and putting it in a certain box, and now everybody's kind of, maybe some people are buying this and going, I'm not getting any of that, to be honest. So choose your cannabis-based fragrance wisely. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.